私のこの断りに反した動き。2本目開始。
やれやれ。少しずつ刻んであげる。調子に乗らないでよ。
速さついてこい。私の作品の一部にしてやろう。私の作品の一部にしてやろう。速さついてこれば。速さついてこ私の本気を見るがいい。自然の断りに反するのが大好きなのだ。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
僕の糸は誰にも切れない。さて終わりだ。バラバラに刻んであげる。
私の作品の一部にしてやろう。私がこの私が
少しずつ刻んであげる。惨めだ。
私の作品の一部にしてやろう。自由自在よ。
死にかかった。さて死んでくれ。調子に乗らないで。やれやれ。見るも無残に死ぬな。
どうかね。私のこの断りに反した動き。2本目開始。
少しずつ刻んであげる。逃げろ。
私の作品の一部にしてやろう。
やれやれ。調子に乗らないでよ。
震えているな。恐ろしいか。 そこまで。断末魔も危険か。だがそれもまたいい。この完全な美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
せいぜい苦しませてやろうぞ。
おお、それがいい。開始。わしかね。私のこの断りに反した動き。2本目開始。わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。私の作品を一部にしてやろう。何をしておる。私の作品を一部にしてやろう。いつでも変わってやるぞ。
誰にも止められない。
わしがやろう。私の本気を見るがいい。
本気で相手をしてやろう。
私は自然の断りに反するのが大好きなのだ。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
せいぜい苦しませてやろうぞ。
おお、それがいい。開始。わし
変わってやる。見物じゃ。
わしがやろう。 任せたぞ。2本目開始。わしがやろう。あとはやるのを収まる。いつでも触ってやる。わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。いつでも変わってやるぞ。
本番と言ったの。しまいじゃ。さあ遊び続けよう。朝になるまで、命尽きるまで。
勝負あり。そこまで。
ヤハバ、首はいくつ持ち帰ればよいかの。
汚い首など一つもいらぬ。捨てておけ。
せいぜい苦しませてやろうぞ。
おお、それがいい。開始。わし
変わってやる。
わしがやろう。あとは任せろ。ついてこれ。見つけられた。私がこの私が収まる。わしが相手。私の作品の一部にしてやろう。この透き通るような鱗は勝負を。わしが相手じゃ。開始。わしが私の作品の一部にしてやろう。いつでも変わってやるぞ。わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。震えているな。恐ろしいか。遊びが過ぎるのではないか。私の作品をいつでも変わってやる。この速さ。わしがやろう。勝負あり。あとは任せたぞ。3本目開始。
やるの。
わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。
全力で舞い落と
わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。とんでもない こまで耐えられるか見ものじゃ。そこか残酷わしからの呼ばれ
変わってやる。全力
わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。
全力でマリを投げて全力で
勝負はあり。そこまで。
どうじゃヤハバ、このマリの威力。
ふふん、わしの術があればこそじゃ。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
遊んであげる。調子に乗らないでよ。
私の作品を一部にしてやる。ような鱗は本能石よりもなお固く強い。
泥遊びはおしまいだよ。さて、刻んであげる。調子に乗らないでよ。
技術一万タッカーメンよ。これぞ我が芸術。断末魔も危険か。だがそれもまたいい。お前を骨まで食い尽くす。
死に。
どうかね。私のこの断りに反した動き。開始。本能石よりもなお固く強い。
かかってバラバラに刻んであげる。
勝負あり。3本目開始。この速さ。
細切れにしてやる。
私の作品の一部にしてやろう。
死に終わりだ。調子に乗らないで。こんなに腹が立ったのは久しぶりだよ。
技術一万タッカーメンよ。これぞ我が芸術。断末魔も危険か。だがそれもまたいい。お前を骨まで食い尽くす。とんでもない異常事態だ。縦横無尽自由自在よ。
暇つぶしにはちょうどよかったよ。
What's going on, Taliban? I haven't seen you in a minute. Even.
鬼殺大使としての意地を見せる。開始。なんかが役に立てるんだろうか。失礼しました。はい。失礼しました。動きだ。どうする。はい、やります。失礼しました。この速さ。恐ろしいか。はい、やります。失礼しました。断りに反した動き。2本目開始。私の作品を一部にしてやろう。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。これぞ我が芸術。勝負はあり。そこまで。今も危険か。だがそれもまたいい。私が本気を出したとき、生きていられた者はいない。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。判断が遅い。 んか。この場は任せたぞ。この私が。うん。空気は読め。せるとしよう。これが相手だ。任せておけ。勝負あり。俺が相手だ。ごめん。開始。ここからはわしが。俺が相手だ。通るような鱗は本能石よりもなお固く強い。私の作品の一部にしてやろう。わしがやろう。整ったぜ。そうなったらわしを呼べ。わしがやる。このからはわしが。恐ろしいか。俺が相手だ。私の作品の一部にしてやろう。さあどうかね。私のこの断りに反した動き。3番目開始。やろう。ここはわしに任せておけ。作品の一部にしてやろう。柱になるのは俺だ。作品の一部にしてやろう。勝負あり。そこまで。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
あたい戦いたくないのに。
それ
そこまで。
仲間は絶対死なせないから。
この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
あたい戦いたくないのに。
開始。一部にしてやろ自由自在よ。
準備はこれでいく。これでいい。これでいい。
どうかね。私のこの断りに反した動き。開始。
待ちなさい。
私の作品の一部にしてやろう。
準備はできて。これでいく。これでいい。
の完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
嘘、あたいがやるの？
開始。
揺らめ
俺が行く。俺が行く。
私の作品を一部にしてやろう。
俺が行く。俺が行く。
自由自在よ。石よりもなお固く強い。
俺が行く。
勝負はあり。2本目開始。私の作品の一部震えているな。恐ろしいか。
これでいい。俺が行く。
待ちなさい。
これでいい。
作品の一部にしてやろう。
俺が行く。
どうかね。私のこの断りに反した動き。3本目開始。この作品を一部にしてやろう。準備はできた。震えているな。勝負をそこまで。この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。こ この完全なる美しき姿にひれ伏すがいい。
どうやって殺そうかの。
それはもう残酷に殺してやろうぞ。わしの作品を一部にしてやろう。いつでも変わってやるぞ。わしがやろう。あとはわしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。遊びが過ぎるのではないか。私の作品の一部にしてやろう。いつでも変わってやるぞ。わしがやろう。
勝負あり。
あとは任せたぞ。わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。私の作品も変わってやる。一部にしてやろう。わしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。とんでもない異常気さ。縦横無尽、自由自在よ。この透き通るような鱗はわしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。
力が湧いてきたぞ。
いつでもわしがやろう。あとは任せたぞ。この速さ。わしがやろう。
勝負あり。そこまで。
光栄に思うがいい。
そうとも、わしら12気づきに倒されたことをのう。
All right. So, game plan, I'm going to make a new video series. Um Jeez, what you mean? Okay. Why no one plays X character and what I would do to fix it. Why no one plays X character and what I would do to fix it. Look at practice mode. Yo, what's going on, Unc? And I should also put it up in the PS4 version of the game just so if I need the extra controller, I'm straight. Should I just go right into Yahaba?
鬼滅の刃日の神血風譚2
Who could I rant about the most? It's probably Yahaba.
もてあそんでやろうぞ。俺は
All right, so I also gotta figure out how I'm gonna not rant the entire time. Where's my PS4 control? There it is. No, there is no Yahaba arc. Yahaba does not exist. I'm going to make a video. Say again. I had to listen to something. I'm gonna make a parade like a fully encompassing series of like each character. All right. So Yahaba, where to begin with this guy? Um, Yahaba is a zoner. He's a very unusual zoner in that his light attacks, his air combo, his heavy attack, they all do no damage. His light attacks do damage on the final hits. So of down combo and of neutral combo. Although his up combo also does no damage. Right? When this character launched in DS1, people were like, what is this guy? And I was the same way. As time went on, he rose his way up the ranks. Some people would call him broken. Some people would call him buns. The truth is somewhere in between. But I think something that anyone who really understands Yahaba as a character, both in DS1 and in DS2, but especially in DS2, is that wherever he is on a tier list, he's really unpolished. There's a lot of like flaws in his design that are odd and don't seem intentional or don't seem to have a good purpose or reasoning for them. In DS2, though, he has those same flaws that he had in DS1 with a whole new meta that just destroys him. But what am I talking about? In DS1, although his normals didn't do damage, his skills did a good chunk of change. Now, that's not exactly the case in DS2. Even when you meter dump, he doesn't have that much damage potential overall. 33 damage for 5 bars is pitiful. I believe in DS1, you were getting 36% off of just the jump rocks loop here, right? So he's doing what 36 to 27. I don't want to do math, actually. I don't want to precedent myself on doing math. But point is, he doesn't do as much damage. Like he had setups to get 50% damage. Should I boot up DS1 actually? Maybe I should do that for reference. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Wait, no, I don't. I don't know if I have. Is it unlocking, dude? Hang on. Bear with me, guys.
鬼滅の刃日の神血風炭
もてあそんでやろう。
よし行くぞ
Where- Yeah. This, no. Let's go to PS4 version of it. Why do I have both PS4 and PS5 version of DS1 and PS4 and PS5 version of DS2? Because I'm a fiend. No further questions.
鬼滅の刃日の神血風炭
わしの目からは逃れられぬ。覚悟吹き飛ばしわしの血気術に恐れ
Oh,
を
why does it look like that?
から溢れてくる
Why is the frame rate like this? Was it always like this?
そこか。
DS1 looked better on last gen. But anyway, oh, that's gonna annoy me really fast. Okay, I'll turn that off for now. All right. So DS1 Yahaba was a true glass cannon.
わしからは逃れられぬ。わしからは逃れられぬ。
Even with the grounded skills, he does more than what the DS2 version does. All right, so it was 33, close to 34, 34, right? So he had different ways to deal great damage by burning his meter. You get hit by the wrong thing, you lose half your life. Now, that said, it's kind of rare for him to get that opportunity because he's a glass cannon and he's kind of meter intensive. So he'll be doing his moves, he'll need to be canceling a lot, he'll need to be getting out of the air. You have to be very careful with Yahaba because he has low health and he dies pretty quick. So if you make a mistake and the opponent gets the drop on you, then you're going to die pretty quick. And if you were using your demon skills, then you have no way to escape that combo or whatever the case is. But he's a glass cannon. Me personally, I would look for opportunities to replenish the resources that I had. So I'd go for something risky and then try and draw it out, you know, stall for time.
わしからは逃れられぬ。
Get a down combo off that. Or go for a grab and then try and get some distance. You probably wouldn't want to use both the demon skills there, but y'all can see how much damage he's doing, like in general. Right? his plunge also did like at max scaling an extra 1,000 damage. So that was always nice if you needed to convert something, or maybe you didn't want to spend a whole lot of extra meter. You would just throw that plunge in there, and okay, you got some damage. Nice. All right, some flaws, right? And I did a whole video on this that I didn't really release. Um, the character is unpolished in a couple of ways. There were several ways for the down combo to fail. I'll try and find a clip of that because it's kind of hard for me to like remember how to do it on command. But his tilt skill, um, it had several ways to not properly hit. So one example, you see that? See how it did 0 damage? That's because the tilt skill didn't land properly. If you notice, tilt skill does 2 hits. The first hit does 0 damage, right? So you could have situations where the opponent was in the air and you threw the tilt skill, and because of the way that it hit the opponent, you wouldn't get any damage. You could literally be punishing the opponent for doing something reckless in the air, and you wouldn't get any reward for it, which was tough. It was tough and really frustrating. Also, you could also get that same thing to happen if you had the right situation. I think here. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I'm too close. There it is. So it shoots at that angle, and it only gets the first hit. Now, the technically good thing about that is that it led to a hard knockdown, which is odd. Yahaba doesn't have a whole lot of great ways to get a hard knockdown. Like his air combo will crumple if the opponent is grounded, but if they are mid-air, they just have that quick rise. So he didn't have a whole lot of ways to get a hard knockdown, and therefore, if he spent a bunch of resources, he doesn't have a whole lot of ways to like, all right, hold on, let me catch my breath, right? Other characters, all they got to do to catch their breath, our combo, and then there's a hard knockdown. Yeah, how about he can't do that? He would have to spend extra meter to get a hard knockdown. Which, it's funny, and I kind of got good at doing weird stuff like that, but that's not that good. But again, he's a glass cannon. Good ways to deal damage, but it was kind of rare to get those opportunities. In other instances, he would get a really high scaling starter, and he would have to work really hard to fight that scaling and get any damage. Oh, okay, them DS2 instincts are kicking in. Alright. He also didn't have, like, a way to use this neutral combo finisher. Outside of, like, just being on the ground. So, if you get this... Cool. If you get any kind of juggle, you do not get that. There's really specific combos that you can do to set it up, but it involves like throwing these chaser arrows out there, and that's unnecessarily difficult. But I hope y'all get the point. He was a glass cannon. I'm almost skipping over his defense. All right, so that's what he's like offensively. On defense, he's also odd because he doesn't have a traditional BP, like get off me tool. He has this. It spawns at the opponent's feet. Now, if the opponent's like dashing at him, then they're gonna dash right past that, right? Like, so all it takes is for the opponent to be moving, and that gets cooked. It doesn't have enough armor to like really protect you there. So in the lieu, since he didn't have a regular DP, his heavy became like kind of his reversal tool. Fully armored, able to stall the opponent, and it didn't lead to like great damage, but like this protection was really important. Whether it's making the opponent miss a move or if they uh just got clipped, it would stop them, slow them down if it hit them in the air. Not a whole lot of great conversions, but it was a really effective tool to threaten and then hop away. If he releases it, then he's armored for the duration. All right. Is that it? Yeah. Damage dealer. Ways to convert into a lot of damage very quickly. So you make a mistake and you could die for it, but he had to work hard for it and set that up. All right, let's switch back to DS2. That's DS1. So in DS2, he's mostly the same character, but he does no damage. So he's a glass cannon that can't cannon. So that's one problem. That's one problem. How I mentioned before about his defense, he doesn't have a DP, so instead he has his heavy. But if you notice in DS2, once he heavies, he's not armored anymore. If he's fully charging it, he gets to keep that armor for some longer, but it still puts him in a position where if he fully charges it, he can't do what's new to DS2, which is cancel it, right? So if you I tripped myself up for a second. Ignore that. So in DS2, you have the ability to cancel your heavies, but the thing about it was that the threat of the release was the important part. That he would be able to shoot these arrows and stay armored, and at least like weather a couple hits, but still interrupt you. He can't do that in DS2. So in DS2, he basically doesn't have any real reversal option. So he has to rely on DS2's defensive mechanics, which, if you know anything about DS2, push block is a lot slower, and parry is a lot tighter. So in a game where defense is a lot more difficult, he has no real way to get the opponent off him, no real way to stop them. Well, okay. Let me backtrack a little bit. So neutral. So in DS1, you had to respect projectiles, right? Even though he did 0 damage, these projectiles would track quite well. Let me get second player in here. So these projectiles will track quite well. Based on your movement, so if you're strafing around Yahaba, then you can also avoid pretty much all of his attacks. That's another thing. So like he had to he had to like outsmart you as far as your movement. What was I saying now? Right, that you had to respect projectiles in DS1. In DS2, uh, there's a lot of changes that make it so that that's not exactly the case. So projectiles in DS2, variable. Also, most characters have a heavy that has an armored dash. So in DS2, many characters can just blow right through your projectile. And that includes your skills as well. So as long as they're not right in your face and the attack hasn't activated yet, they can get through your attack. So I trade there because they got too close. So if I miss time, well, this isn't even a situation where you'd be trying to go for a rock here, but point is that like you throw an attack and they time it right, they can blow right through it, right? His other projectiles spawn on their feet as well, so it's not like they're really doing anything in this situation. All right, so a lot of characters just have a way to disrespect your projectile, like innate to their kit, and that's not including characters that have like anti-projectile stuff. Like Akaza has his annihilation. Susa has her charged piercing kick, different things like that. So he is now a glass cannon that does no damage, that has a much harder time keeping people out, that can't really rely on this heavy attack to protect them when it comes to keeping opponents out or stopping them from attacking him. It's not armored during its activation. So he's just not viable. You have to work too hard to get nothing. You have to work too hard to keep the opponent out when they have plenty of ways to get in. He's not a good character. And by my assessment, I don't think he exists in this game's tiering. Like he's bottom one, and I don't think it's close. Because the fundamental things about him, like him trying to zone. Oh, and I didn't even get to his combos. Ha ha ha. But keeping the opponent out was kind of like all right, that's the step one. You keep the opponent out, you make them work hard to get in, and as they work hard to get in, you trip them up and you get some damage, right? DS2, there's so many ways for the opponent to counter that, it's not even funny. Also, if they clip you, they can do a team switch and get a conversion. So let me switch to some other characters and show y'all some other situations. So let's go out. In DS2, there's projectile priority. So where in DS1, every projectile was pretty much on equal footing, and it was kind of based on how many projectiles you could throw at a given time. In DS2, Yahaba kind of just loses. I don't think that any other character throws projectiles as slow. Maybe like Enmu, but Enmu's projectiles function in a different way, and he can still produce more. If I'm throwing these projectiles, then Akaza has his armored annihilation. I have no way to interrupt that. I can use this heavy to break the armor, but that's a full commitment. And other armor breaking attacks can do the opposite to me. Ooh, something else I should probably mention. If I get this fully charged heavy attack, I can't combo it. I can get light attacks. For a red combo. And that's tight. Depending on how the opponent is moving, whatever the case is, even when I land that, I might not get this. And this isn't great. Oh, wait. Oh, ooh, I can do the heavy attack here. Give me, I'm on 2 controllers. That isn't working. Why am I not getting it? Huh. So in DS2, the opponent can hit you from across the map and then call their assist to extend the combo, making your distance from the opponent kind of irrelevant in some ways. Not to mention some of the more general flaws of DS2 that heavy attacks charge really fast. Block stun is king because push block doesn't exist. So a lot of teams just have ways to get you to block, and then that's it. You're taking damage because you blocked. You're taking damage because you tried to defend yourself. This isn't going to be a good example, but just like that, guard is broken. It's party time. Alright, so lost over 40% for blocking effectively one move. And after I blocked that one move, I was stuck, and I would have been forced to escape and then trying to defend myself again. So Yahaba is a glass cannon that does no damage, that has no defensive tools, that can't effectively keep people out, maybe in some like really specific matchups. Um, when he does get combos, they're gonna be red. I actually don't think I mentioned his air combo is red. So instead of full conversions, I can get stuff like this. I can meter burn for this. You really don't get much reward as Yahaba. Some of the, I guess, positive changes. This is close to a positive change, but his neutral combo ender shoots a lot lower, so it's technically possible to land this in a juggle without any extra steps. It's just really tight. The frame rate also makes it harder to land certain combos, but I'm trying, y'all. There we go. So it's technically possible, but good luck. Good luck. And it's really disappointing because I think Yahaba, even with his flaws, he's an interesting character that feels nice to be able to get creative with, get high damage setups, get the opponent to respect his chip damage and pressure. But that's just not the case in DS2. Like he doesn't get rewarded for being his owner. He doesn't get rewarded for trying to defend himself. He doesn't get rewarded for trying to push in. He doesn't get reward for anything. He's slow. He doesn't do damage. He can't defend himself. And there's not a whole lot of upsides. They did make him a bit more agile in some ways, but like again, since he can't do damage, it's quality of life, but his life is not it's not great. While I'm at it, I should talk about Susaba because this is a team that still gets played,
せいぜい苦しませ
but most of the time, all you're gonna see of Yahaba is a switch off of him. At the end, I'll probably do like a recap, like a full moveset overview. but yeah, you just see people switch off of Yahaba and him get used for his eruption, which I don't have anything to say about Yahaba as an assist. I don't think that really needs any changes. It's just, and this is the superior version of Haba, having Susamu as an assist, but it doesn't feel very creatively rewarding. What do combos look like with this guy? Got a combo Susa. Yeah, you really don't see Yahaba being played on point much at all. Is there anything else to say about this version of Yahaba? If anyone in chat has questions, then let me know. But his main claim to fame in this matchup is just him getting switched off. Let me try and recap some things. Ooh. The team characters have this team switch that extends the combos. If you see this combo timer, it goes up when I do that. The solo version of the characters don't have that. But they do have a mechanic where if they use boost and the boost hits them while they're juggled, then you get to continue the combo. It's not that flashy, it's not that interesting, but it's there. So yeah, I can combo. Does it extend? It doesn't change the combo time at all, it just makes it so I don't drop. Bad scaling. Alright. For anyone who just joined, let me try and do an overview of Yahaba. Yahaba is what used to be a glass cannon in DS1, and now he's just a broken zoner, not broken in a good way, just broken, like not functional. His light attacks don't do damage, which was offset by the fact that his skills did do a lot of damage, but they don't do that much damage in DS2. In DS1, that sequence would have done 33%. In DS2, he does 27%. And as you go up the chain of what he would have done damage with, it does not do damage in DS2. His tilt skill spawns on the enemy, but if they're moving around, it won't hit them. It starts a blue starter if it does hit them. His eruption spawns on their feet, but if they're moving around, it won't hit them. If they dash at you, then they can avoid it. It's armored as well, but it's not used as a defensive tool because it spawns on the opponent. So unless you catch them and you're lucky and they're right next to you, you might not be able to use that as a get off me tool. Plunge arrow, something I didn't really talk about. In DS1, it had a function of like being an ender of high damage combos, but like it lasts so long that like you have to be really careful about using it. Just because it's really risky and it's using your escape resources, and you kind of need that. It doesn't do that much damage at high scaling in DS2. Like it does okay, but it's not really anything to write home about. In DS1, you would have gotten 1,000 damage no matter how high you scaled. Up combo does no damage. Neutral combo does some damage. Down combo does damage as well. down combo is also unfortunate in a couple ways. Like it has many ways to drop, it has many ways to fail you. Other zoners, other characters can whiff their down combo and build meter. Yahaba can't do that. He has to have that last hit touch for him to build any meter. So it builds meter there. If I were to do a combo like this, and for whatever reason the down combo fail, then I think I'd mix my points. But the point is here that he has a bunch of ways to drop combos, and down combo can fail quite a bit. And there's no way to cancel that either. I'll put a clip of what it did in DS1 around here, but it's risky going for down combo is the point. Like the opponent can potentially escape out of it and then punish you for trying to get a hard knockdown. And he doesn't have a whole lot of ways to get hard knockdowns. Chaser arrow spawns 3, and then on the delay they'll chase after him. It's important to note that if the opponent is simply strafing, which some people in DS1 didn't really understand and would just die or give up when it came to fighting Yahaba, nothing he has will touch you if you know how to strafe. It's his job to make you move incorrectly, make you jump at the wrong time, make you do whatever, catch you with a dash, whatever he needs to do to interrupt you. But up combo is red, so he doesn't get strong conversions off this. He can't go into the neutral combo ender. Can he do plunge? If plunge is all I do, I can get punch. But otherwise, I'll get nothing. There's plenty ways to get nothing. Oh, look at that. I forgot. The tracking on the rocks is broken too. In DS1, it more reliably would connect there. I think they might have messed with the tracking in some way. He also has his dive attack. In DS1, he could cancel this to like move backward and create some space, but this is not cancelable in DS2. The supposed upside is that this is now a blue combo, so if I throw this out and I land it, I get a blue combo. Hey, maybe that's his one good starter. But if his one good starter is something that I can't cancel into skills, into anything, this is a very risky move to throw out. Especially considering it does no damage and that all the opponents have a way to blow through projectiles. So yeah, once again, here's a glass cannon. Doesn't have effective ways to do damage. When he does catch the opponent, he gets hurt a lot for getting hit. He does heal, but he doesn't heal as much as other characters. He's a zoner, but he can't really keep people out. Maybe some matchups he can somewhat, but his heavy attack, if it's fully charged, he's a sitting duck, and he doesn't get good conversion or damage off of it. There's like very little deterrent here. You get hit by a fully charged heavy attack. I can't use my skills on you. You get hit by a fully charged heavy attack. I'm trying to light attack here. I have to be some kind of distance to even get anything. I'm desperately trying to light attack here. Nothing. So I can get a fully charged heavy attack and not be able to get anything. Not to mention, because he's a projectile character, he doesn't have like the quick light attacks as some of the characters. So there are some situations where, all right, I just mash here. He can't do that because his arrow's a little bit slower. So if you needed 4 frames to land an attack and his arrows a couple more frames than that, then he doesn't get the punish there, and he has to just weather the storm. Sorry out here for Yahaba. I can't play this character. As much as I want to, I can't. And it's a shame because he's very cool. He can be very stylish at times. Cool ways to mid combo boost. Cool ways to convert from across the map. He has really cool combos, and it's a shame. All that does no damage. Buff him. All right. Ooh, drop my controller.